Family, what's going on? Hope y'all been doing amazing. Hope y'all been taking care of yourselves. Quick message for y'all today, man. I just wanted to talk about the idea of actually controlling your thoughts and using your thoughts to your advantage to actually shape and build, the reality that you want, right? Most people have no idea how to control their thoughts, right? And the people that know the idea of controlling their thoughts, some of them lack consistency in doing that. And the process of actually controlling your thoughts is not easy by any means. It's not easy by any means, but it is necessary for your improvement as a person. Now, when it comes to you actually controlling your thoughts are going to be based off of these systems that you have in place for yourself, right? If you stick to the system and you stay disciplined in your actions and disciplined in your thought patterns, then of course the good results are going to produce from that, right? Now, if you find yourself falling off or you find yourself getting into the mix of bad habits and the inconsistencies or not utilizing your time the way that you should, that can ultimately lead to you having infiltrating thoughts that are taking you away from the actual goal, right? So the way to take control of your thoughts, right, there's a process to it, right? The first step of actually taking control of your thoughts is observing and acknowledging the thoughts that you are actually having, right? Now, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, my goal is to lose weight, right? Or my goal is to, shed a few pounds. I've been, getting to the point where I've gotten a little heavy and I want to get back in shape. We know that in order to get in shape, right, it's going to consist of us having a consistent diet, right? A consistent, change in our eating patterns. And it's going to require some form of physical activity, whether that be, walking daily, whether that be going to the gym, some type of physical movement that is going to cause our body to, stimulate and actually work out, burn calories, right? Now, if you're having thoughts that you're not, producing, or, you've been working out for, let's just say 2 weeks now and you don't have any progress or you don't see any physical progress in the mirror, it's going to be hard to believe that what you're doing is actually working, right? Now, this might cause you to have thoughts of doubt, right? Dang, what if what I'm doing is not actually working? Or why I've been in the gym, for 2 weeks now and nothing's changing, right? That might cause you in your head to develop a thought that is derived from doubt, okay? So when you get into these thought patterns and you start having these loops of, we'll call them negative thoughts, it's up to you to observe and identify that thought with a specific emotion, right? So in that example I just gave, I will classify that thought as that's a thought of doubt, right? It's a thought of doubt. It's derived from doubt. Now, you actually pointing out the thought itself is separating the thought from your identity, right? Because if I acknowledge the thought and I classify it as a thought of doubt, that thought is not actually who I am. right? That thought is not actually the type of person I am, the identity that I have. Because my identity is working out. My identity is eating consistently. My identity is doing the things that a healthy person would do, right? The healthy food swaps, or, in my downtime, instead of me, taking a nap, I'm going on a 30-minute walk or a 30-minute jog, right? That is my identity, okay? So super important in whatever realm or whatever, aspect you're having these thoughts of. It's super important to identify the thoughts you're having. That way you can distinguish if they're actually benefiting you or not. Okay? Now, when it comes to your thoughts themselves, right? Remember that it's all about the system you have in place. If you are being the most disciplined version of yourself, that means that no matter how you're feeling in that specific moment, you're going to get things done, right? You're going to always, you're going to always have the goal in mind, right? It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter how rough of a day you've had. What needs to get done has to get done, because you have that system. You have that discipline going, right? Now, it's all a snowball effect, right? The more disciplined and, consistent you've been, that's also linked to your confidence, right? If you're more confident, you're more adventurous, right? If you're more adventurous, you're more willing to take risks. If you're willing to take more risk, then at that point, it's an open floor. I mean, you can do literally anything you set your mind to. Consistency is going to be the determining factor if you actually make it, if you actually get it done, right? Most people may have these thoughts or may know what they need to do, right? But how many of those people are actually going to do it, right? You need to be that person that actually does what they're going to say they do, okay? Be that person that no matter how you're feeling, right? No matter what your situation is, no matter what environment you are in, you know that things need to get done, right? You know that the goal you have in mind for yourself is only attainable if you get uncomfortable. All right? Get uncomfortable and force yourself to get into that mind space of growth. Okay? Growth is not pretty. Okay? It's not pretty. It's not flashy. And it's not easy. Okay? It's going to be difficult. But in those difficult times is where you need to really hone in and remember what the true goal is. That way you can actually get to that point and that level of where you want to be. I hope y'all been taking care of yourselves. It's today is Monday, February 9th. I hope y'all are on this journey with me. I know that there's some things coming. I can't tell you what exactly. I can't tell you the energy I feel. But I know that the world is evolving, right? People are waking up. There's a lot of corrupt things going on throughout the world. Main thing is just protect yourself, right? At all times, protect your energy. Work on yourself and let God do the rest. All right, let God handle the rest. Control what you can control and be the best you can. That's just what it boils down to. But all right, y'all. I hope y'all have a good one. And until next time.